Welcome to our deep dive today.
Oh, this should be fun.
We're going to be exploring the world of love quotes.
Sounds romantic.
Yeah, it
All right.
is. We've got a great collection from an article.
Okay,
It's called Best Love Quotes That Will Make Your Heart Skip a Beat.
catchy title.
It's from CrossMat Blogs.
I've heard of that one.
And we're excited to, unpack these quotes with you.
Yeah, it's always fascinating to see how people have tried to capture love, in words.
Exactly. Throughout history, across cultures, love is this complex emotion.
Right.
And
It's a challenge.
maybe by looking at these different perspectives,
Yeah.
we can understand our own feelings a little better.
I like that.
So the article starts off strong.
Okay.
It's got a section called The Many Faces of Love.
Okay.
And right away, we're thrown into the deep end with Aristotle.
Oh, wow. Starting big.
He says, love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies.
Powerful image, right?
Yeah.
He's suggesting this complete merging where two people become so connected that they're almost one being.
Mm-hmm.
That sense of unity
Yeah,
is definitely something many of us seek
I think so.
in love.
But, it does make me wonder,
Yeah.
where's the line between healthy connection and
Right.
losing yourself in a relationship?
Yeah.
You talk a lot about individuality these days.
We do.
So how does that fit in?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's like anything else.
Mm,
Too much of one thing
yeah.
can throw things out of balance, right?
Right.
So maybe Aristotle's vision works best
Okay.
when both partners also value their individual growth
Yeah.
and independence.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And that actually ties in nicely with the next quote,
Right.
which is from Victor Hugo.
Okay, Victor Hugo.
He says, "The greatest happiness of life is the conviction that we are loved.
Yeah.
Loved for ourselves, or rather, loved in spite of ourselves."
So he brings in the element of self-acceptance there, which is so crucial for a healthy relationship.
Absolutely.
Think about it.
Yeah.
If you don't truly believe you're worthy of love,
Mm-hmm.
you might constantly seek validation
Right.
or try to change yourself to please your partner.
Oh, for sure.
Neither of those is sustainable in the long run.
Definitely not. I've actually seen that with
Wow.
friends in relationships.
Yeah.
They were so worried about their partner leaving that they ended up changing who they were.
Yeah.
It never really seemed to work out in the end.
It's a recipe for resentment, really.
Yeah,
Love thrives when both partners feel secure enough
I agree.
to be their authentic selves,
Yes.
flaws and all.
Yeah.
It's about embracing the whole package, as they say.
I like that. So true.
So true.
The article also includes this passage.
Oh, okay.
It's often used in wedding ceremonies.
right.
Love is patient, love is kind.
Oh, yeah.
It's from 1 Corinthians.
Classic.
It's beautifully written,
It is.
but it almost feels like an impossible standard.
I know what you mean.
Can anyone truly be that loving?
Yeah.
Good time.
It's definitely aspirational.
Yeah.
But maybe that's the point, right?
Yeah.
It gives us a framework for how we want to love.
Mm-hmm.
And psychologists have actually broken down
Okay.
different aspects of love, like
Wow.
intimacy,
Yeah.
passion,
Yeah.
and commitment.
Right. Right.
So even if we don't embody, perfect love 24/7,
Right.
working towards those qualities
Mm-hmm.
can strengthen our relationships.
So it's more about striving for that ideal
Exactly.
than actually achieving it perfectly.
It's a journey,
right.
not a destination.
Okay.
And then, just to throw in a completely different take on love,
Okay.
we have Nicholas Sparks.
All right. Nicholas Sparks.
He says, love is like the wind. You can't see it, but you can feel it.
This one feels so intangible. Like,
Yeah.
how do you even explain love
Yeah.
to someone who's never felt it? It's not something you can point to and say, there it is.
Yeah, true. It's more of an experience
Yeah. Yeah.
than a thing.
Right.
And just like the wind can be a gentle breeze
Uh-huh.
or a powerful storm,
Right.
love can show up in so many ways.
Yeah.
A comforting hug,
Mm-hmm.
a shared laugh,
Yeah.
even a silent understanding between two people,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
And just like you can't control the wind.
Yeah.
You can't really force love either.
Right.
It's more about creating the right conditions for
Yeah.
it to flourish,
That's a great point.
which takes us perfectly into the next section of the article,
Okay.
which is all about expressing your heart.
Yeah. Expressing your heart.
It can be tricky, right?
Oh, it really can be.
Finding the words to communicate those feelings,
Mhm.
especially when they're so intense.
Yeah, for sure.
And this section starts with a quote from Mark Twain
Okay.
that captures that challenge perfectly. He says, Love is a language that the deaf can hear and the blind can see.
It makes you think about all the ways
Yeah.
that we express love that go beyond words.
It's about those nonverbal cues.
Yeah.
A gentle touch, a knowing glance,
Uh-huh.
the way you instinctively reach for someone's hand. Sometimes those actions speak louder than any words ever could.
That reminds me of that saying, actions speak louder than words.
Exactly.
And there's actually a quote in the article that echoes that.
Oh, really?
It says, love is not what you say, love is what you do.
So it's about showing up for someone
Yeah.
in tangible ways.
I think so.
Right.
Yeah, like,
Those everyday acts of service.
yeah.
Those small gestures that demonstrate your care.
Exactly.
Like making your partner coffee in the morning, just the way they like it.
Right, or remembering to pick up their dry cleaning.
Yes. Or even just being a good listener
Yeah.
when they've had a rough day.
Absolutely.
It's those little things
Yeah.
that add up over time and create a sense of security and love in a relationship.
So true.
And speaking of security,
Yeah.
this next quote takes us in a slightly different direction.
Yeah.
Bell Hooks says, "The practice of love offers no place of safety. We risk loss, hurt, pain."
Ooh, that one feels a bit heavy.
Hmm.
It's almost like a warning
Yeah.
about the potential downsides of love.
It's true.
Yeah.
Opening yourself up to love means making yourself vulnerable. There's always the chance of getting hurt.
Right.
But I think what Hooks is trying to say is that
Yeah.
the risk is worth it.
Because the rewards of true connection
Exactly.
outweigh the potential pain.
It's about choosing to love wholeheartedly,
Yeah.
even though, there might be some bumps along the road.
Right.
And isn't that what makes love so powerful?
Yeah.
It's this willingness to be vulnerable, to put your heart on the line, even when you know it might get broken.
Okay, so we've talked about the many faces of love, the importance of self-acceptance,
Yeah.
and the challenges of expressing our feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's move on to the section
Oh.
that everyone's been waiting for,
All right.
the I love you quotes.
Yes, the three little words that carry so much weight.
Yeah,
And the article gives us a whole range of ways to say
he
it,
does.
from simple and straightforward
Yeah.
to poetic and profound.
There's something in here for everyone.
There is.
Depending on your personality and the kind of relationship you have,
How true.
let's look at a few listener favorites.
All right.
Starting with this classic
Okay.
from Roy Croft.
Roy Croft, okay.
He says, I love you, not only for what you are, but for what I am when I am with you.
It really speaks to the transformative power of love,
It does, right?
wouldn't you say?
It's like, not only do you love this person for who they are,
Mm-hmm.
but you also love the best version of yourself
Right.
that emerges when you're with them.
Precisely.
They inspire you to grow, become more fully yourself.
And then we have Elizabeth Barrett Browning,
Oh, okay.
who takes it a step further.
Right.
She writes, "I love you not only for what you have made of yourself, but for what you are making of me."
That one is beautiful.
It is, isn't it?
It acknowledges
Yeah.
the mutual influence we have on each other in a relationship. It's
Yeah.
not just one person changing the other.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street.
And it highlights the fact that love is a dynamic process. We're constantly evolving
Right.
and shaping each other,
Yeah.
for better or worse.
Okay, I have to bring up one more
Good.
that really resonated with me.
Right.
Pablo Neruda writes, I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you simply, without problems or pride.
Wow.
There's something so raw and honest about that.
So true.
It's like I don't need to analyze it. I just love you, period.
Neruda captures the essence of unconditional love here.
Yeah.
It's a love that transcends reason or logic. It's simply a feeling that exists
Right.
without any need for explanation or justification.
It's about accepting the other person in their entirety,
Yes.
flaws and all, without any conditions or expectations.
And that kind of love is truly liberating, isn't it?
It is, it's freeing.
It allows both partners to be their authentic selves
Right.
without fear of judgment or rejection.
It makes me think of that idea
Yeah.
of finding your safe haven in another person, someone you can always be yourself with no matter what.
Exactly.
Speaking of safe havens,
Okay.
the article ends on a lighter note
Right.
with a section called Making Your Partner Swoon.
Ah, yes, the sweet nothings
Yes.
that bring a smile to your face
Exactly.
and warmth to your heart.
It's not always about grand pronouncements
Right.
or profound declarations.
They might seem a bit cheesy at times,
They might.
but there's something endearing
Yeah.
about those playful expressions of love.
For sure. Sometimes a simple compliment or a silly inside joke
Right.
can make your partner feel loved and appreciated.
Absolutely.
And the article gives us a whole buffet of options here.
Oh, does it?
Like, for example, I love your contagious laughter and the way it brightens up any room we're in together.
Cute.
Or your intelligence and wit constantly amaze me. Conversations with you are always captivating.
It's interesting
Yeah.
because even though these quotes are more lighthearted,
Mm-hmm.
they still highlight important qualities in a relationship,
They do.
like having a shared sense of humor,
Right.
appreciating each other's strengths,
Yeah,
and being genuinely interested in what your partner has to say.
absolutely. They might seem like small things,
Yeah.
but they actually contribute a lot
Yeah?
to building intimacy and connection.
Exactly. And even a simple, you have the most beautiful eyes
Oh, yeah.
can make someone's day, right?
Totally.
It's about noticing those little details
Mm-hmm.
and expressing your appreciation for them.
Absolutely. It's those small gestures that often mean the most. So true.
But there's one quote from this section that I want to end with
All right.
because it beautifully blends playfulness with depth.
Right.
It says, "You possess a rare combination of strength and gentleness. You're my rock and my soft place to land."
Oh, I like that one.
It really speaks to that need for both security and vulnerability
Yeah.
in a loving relationship.
It's about finding someone
Yeah.
who can be both your protector and your confidant,
Uh.
someone who provides a sense of safety and stability,
Right. Mhm.
but also allows you to be your authentic, vulnerable self.
That's the balance.
Right.
It's that perfect balance between strength and tenderness
Yeah.
that makes you feel truly loved and supported.
So well said. It feels like we've only just scratched the surface.
I know, right?
There's so much to unpack when it comes to love.
There is.
So much.
So as we wrap up our deep dive
Yeah.
into these love quotes,
Okay.
what stands out to you as the biggest takeaways for our listener?
Well, I think it's clear that love is not a one-size-fits-all emotion.
It can be passionate and intense,
Right.
or quiet and comforting,
Yeah,
You know.
for sure.
and it can be expressed through grand gestures
Oh,
or
yeah.
simple acts of kindness.
And it's not just about finding the right person,
Right.
but also about the effort we put into building and nurturing a relationship.
Exactly. Love requires vulnerability, compromise,
Yeah,
and a willingness to grow,
right.
both individually and together.
These quotes also reminded me of the importance of self-love.
Oh, for sure.
If you don't feel worthy of love,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to accept it from someone else.
That's such an important point.
Isn't it?
You can't pour from an empty cup,
Right, right.
as they say.
Exactly.
Building a strong foundation of self-love allows you to approach relationships from a place of wholeness and security.
Makes sense.
Do any of these quotes particularly resonate with you?
You know what?
Yeah.
That one from Pablo Neruda
Oh, yeah.
about loving simply without problems or pride really struck a chord with me.
It speaks to that pure,
Yes.
unconditional love
It does.
that I think we all crave deep down.
Yeah, it's like, I love you just because you are you.
Exactly.
Okay? That's enough.
And that kind of love can be incredibly healing and transformative,
It can.
both for the giver and the receiver.
So for our listener,
Yeah.
as they continue on their own journey with love,
Mhm.
what's one thing you'd encourage them to keep in mind?
I'd say don't be afraid to be vulnerable.
Oh, that's good.
Let your guard down and allow yourself to experience love fully,
Yeah.
even if it means taking a risk.
Because even if things don't always work out perfectly, the experience of loving and being loved
Yeah.
is what makes life truly rich and meaningful.
Beautifully said.
And remember, love is a journey, not a destination.
So true.
There will be ups and downs,
Yeah.
twists and turns, but it's all part of the adventure.
Well said.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the language of love.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've enjoyed exploring these different perspectives
I hope so.
and maybe even discovered a few new insights along the way.
Yeah.
And until next time, keep those hearts open and those minds curious.
Yeah.